If you're following Depp vs. Heard, you must know who Ben Chew and Camille Vasquez are. They're Johnny Depp's lawyers who won the case in Virginia, and they went on Good Morning America. Now, I want to feature this because last week, Amber's lawyer, Elaine Brenoff, actually went on the Today Show, and it wasn't so enjoyable. But this is enjoyable. So I want to take a look at the questions that were asked, maybe some motives, and of course, the great answers that were given. So without further ado, let's take a look.
I'm here with Johnny Depp's lawyers, Camille Vasquez and Ben Chew, sitting down for their first interview since the blockbuster verdict that Depp was defamed by ex-wife Amber Heard. Welcome to you both. Camille, let me begin with you. I think the verdict surprised a lot of legal experts. They thought it was a very uphill fight from the beginning for you all. What was the key to victory?
I think the key to victory was focusing on the facts and the evidence, and Johnny's opportunity to speak the truth for the first time. It was 6 years in the making, and I think he was able to connect with the jury and the general public and tell what really happened in this relationship.
All right, so off the bat, everything she says is really great. The thing Amber fans and supporters and people in the media don't like to stick with are the facts. When they support Amber, they could never say what she did wrong. It has to be about a narrative, man versus woman, abuser versus victim, whatever it is, something ideological. They don't actually stick with the evidence.
He wasn't in the courtroom for the verdict. What was his reaction when you told him?
He was over the moon. It was like the weight of the world had been taken off his shoulders, and I feel that finally, after 6 years, he's gotten his life back.
He also went on TikTok yesterday thanking his supporters on social media. What role did social media play in this verdict?
So here, kind of a setup question. I don't like this question. Let me be transparent. I don't like Good Morning America either. When I say either, I mean I don't like the Today Show. However, since they're featuring Ben and Camille and giving them a chance to talk, I had to check it out. Now, Amber's side has been blaming social media for attacking Amber, a campaign against Amber. First of all, it's complete BS because nobody can get together that many people for a campaign for an organized attack. You're talking about getting together tens of millions of people. The biggest platforms in the world have around 10 or 12 million or something like that, and they can't get all their fans to do one thing that they want the fans to do. It's absolutely ridiculous when you think about it. Also on TikTok, there were 15 billion engagements with Justice for Johnny Depp. How the hell can anybody get together? Well, not 15 billion. That's more people than in the world. But let's just say like a billion or something. How can you get like a billion people together and have them campaign against Amber? It's not possible when you think about it. It's a complete crap narrative. Let's see what Camille says.
My view is that social media played no role whatsoever. This was a decision made by the jury on the evidence presented by both sides. And as Camille said, it was overwhelmingly in Mr. Depp's favor.
Ms. Heard's lawyers put out a statement yesterday saying the verdict was a setback for women's rights. And they went on to say that it's unseemly and unprofessional for you all to be, quote, taking a victory lap for setting back decades of how women can be treated in the courtroom. How do you respond to that?
First of all, you can actually take a legal victory lap. There's two separate issues here. One is the contents of the trial, and the other is being a good lawyer and being good at your job. So there's really nothing wrong with that from a certain point of view. I think the twist here is that they're trying to say you're taking a victory lap because you proved that an abuser can get away with it, is their crap narrative that they're trying to imply, obviously.
I think it's disappointing. We're only speaking about what happened in this case, right? And the facts in this case were overwhelmingly positive for Johnny, and the verdict speaks for itself.
How about the broader criticism, though? It's not just from Heard's teams. Victims advocates have argued that the verdict is going to have a chilling effect on domestic violence victims, and it's a blow to the Me Too movement.
I think our response to that is we encourage any victim to come forward. Domestic violence doesn't have a gender.
So you don't see this as a setback to the movement in any way, shape, or form?
We do not. We believe that The verdict speaks for itself. The facts are what they were. The jury made a unanimous decision based on those facts.
During your cross-examination, what was your impression of Ms. Heard's impression on the jury?
I think that her impression on the jury was what it was. I think something that I focused on and we focused on in that cross-examination was using her words against her.
Yeah, perfect. Exactly. The best way to win the argument is to use the person's words against them. If you try to make your own words and your own narrative about how you want people to think someone is, it won't work as well as if you point out what they're saying that's wrong. This is the one thing a lot of people can't quite understand when I criticize Amber, when you guys or gals point out things that criticize Amber. We're not making up things we want you to believe. We're showing you things she did. We're showing you things she put out there that incriminate her. That's something that I hope could be cleared up and more people could come around on.
And it was very important for us to, every question that was asked was tied to something she had said previously. And I think the jury got to see and the world got to see and hear from Ms. Heard in that relationship on every single topic.
And George, I think there was a real contrast. Johnny took ownership of a lot of things. And it seemed at times, and perhaps it came through to the jury, that she had an answer for everything and she wasn't taking accountability for anything.
Perfect. That's exactly the thing that I didn't quite realize. I mean, I've got, I think, over 1,000 videos on this topic, and I've covered quite a bit. But when this case came out, there were some things that slipped through the cracks, and one thing I never quite said in those words was Amber doesn't ever take accountability, and from the get-go, Johnny does. He says, I'm not a perfect person. Well, his lawyers, his team said it, but you know what I mean. The drugs are not a lie, this and that, and he owns up to the mistakes he makes, and Amber just, nope, didn't do it, wasn't me, didn't do it. No bruise kit, didn't lie, no perjury, blah, 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 blah. And the jury's probably like, well, wait a minute, you know, when you take accountability, you say what's wrong, you say what's right, and the truth is probably there. When you just keep deflecting, no denial, then that's probably someone who's hiding something.
Is it possible where we could see a settlement where she forgoes the appeal in return for Mr. Depp waiving any monetary damages?
Well, George, we obviously can't disclose attorney-client communications, but as Mr. Depp testified and as we both made clear in our respective closings, this was never about money for Mr. Depp. So this was about restoring his reputation, and he's done that.
So you're not disclosing any privileges, but it sounds like that's something that could be on the table, but it's up to Ms. Heard?
Again, we have to be careful what we say, but this was about Mr. Depp's reputation. That was what it was about for him.
Your life has changed a lot in the last several weeks. You got made partner this week. Congratulations.
Thank you very
Both
much.
of you have also become something of social media stars. How has it changed? What does it feel like?
It's been surreal and, if I'm being honest, a bit overwhelming. But if I can be an inspiration to young women that want to go to law school and study and work hard, then it was all worth it.
What a perfect thing to say, man. And I'm sure you guys know Camille's getting a lot of heat from the other side, that she took the side of an abuser. She took the side of misogyny. Blah, 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 blah. What a perfect statement you could say, an influence for young women to go to law school. Wow. Sounds like such a terrible person supporting abusers and misogyny, doesn't it? Not really. Sounds like a great role model. I just can't get some people. I'm trying to figure it out myself, guys. Some people, I guess, just aren't living in reality when they defend Amber and her side and they spew out these crappy narratives. Anyway, let me know what you think down below. I'm doing shout-outs, special thanks, things like that, celebrity news, pop culture, whatever comes up. If you don't subscribe, I guess I'll be pretty sad about it. But I'll get over it, make a new video, something like that. Rant over for now. See you next time.